Welcome to a new episode of the Word on the Streets podcast. A good one this time around. I think one of our better episodes, actually, as we hit on the first three Masters events of the 2026 season. We talk a little women's series. We hit on the challengers, biggest ads of the year. Of course, the things we like, the things we don't like so far in the season. As you know, me, Kyle, and Vince have all checked out pretty much all the tournaments. We get into our Power Fives. Of course, we are curious to hear your thoughts on that. And then we get a bold prediction going into Shanghai, which is coming up this weekend. I hope you all enjoy the show. Roll the theme music, Doosan.
Wasn't that just a lovely sound? I know you haven't heard it in a while, but the intro to Word on the Streets, we back, your favorite trio and all the 3x3. What's good, y'all? Kyle Montgomery, a.k.a. The Voice. Vince Chang, the Energy, and the Mountain. Boz Rosendahl back for another edition. We got the seasons, I should say, off and running. Women's Series, a World Tour. Of course, the World Cup is quickly approaching, so I guess you can guess that we got a lot to talk about on this episode. So buckle up, get ready. Here we go. Gentlemen, it is good to see you both back, healthy, smiling. Vince up early out there on the East Coast, New York City. Thanks, Vince.
Man, I appreciate y'all just invite me, but I gotta admit, this young buck becoming an old bull. I played a full court last name. See, this is how bad it was. A full court 5-on-5 game, and I don't know why my nipples hurt. I don't know. Everything's so sore. I woke up and my chest felt like I got kicked, and I'm like, I know I didn't get fouled. I took one charge. Never again. Not doing that. I was balling though.
You don't sacrifice your body in rec ball, Vince. There's nothing at stake.
It's
recreation ball.
It's pride. But it was good to run up and down. Now I'm trying to get in shape. Good news is my sister, I'm going to say this right now, shout out to my sister Kirsten, graduated nursing school. She's coming to nurse.
Good.
So
congratulations.
We had a party.
That's great,
so, man. We're doing great over here.
Good.
There you go. Look, I'm struggling too. I've been busy. No, I have been working. I did a bunch of events over the last few weeks. The last weekend was the first weekend I had officially no commentary anywhere. So I decided to play a tournament of 3x3 basketball, which I feel kind of like Vince, not the nipples, but my daughter asked me to pick her up yesterday after 5 games 2 days ago, and I had to tell her, Daddy can't do it. And then I had to go down the stairs on my butt because I was so sore. So we won, which is good, but it was a big confrontation with what age can do to you. So it was interesting. Let's just say that. How about you, Kyle? You just back from Zadar, right? How was the rainy Croatian Adriatic coast?
In a very ironic way, usually when you have to move venues mid-tournament and when you got bad weather, the tournament ends up being, a little bit of a letdown. I actually think it got better once we went indoors. And we were, in an iconic venue. So many legends that played in there. No cold, no wind, no water. And, got an uptick of offense. So I was actually kind of glad that we moved indoors, even though it was a beautiful venue on the water. Trust me, if I had my choice, perfect weather outdoors, boom, every day of the week. But as a concession plan, it wasn't bad. But it was. I had to. My dad is visiting. Y'all met him before we came on live here, and we've been for the first time ever. I reseeded my entire backyard, so I'm growing all new grass. I'm getting ready for the summer, so we were out there, man, using the tiller, spreading seeds, putting down fertilizer, planting new trees. It's been a lot of work the last couple of weeks.
So honestly, somebody once told me that when you become a father and when you get over 40, either you become a barbecue guy or a lawn guy. So apparently you're a lawn guy.
You know what? I'm very meticulous about it now. I'm looking out the.
There you
go.
go.
You see me looking to the right. I'm just checking to make sure the dogs aren't running on the new grass seed. I'm watering it 3 times a day. I'm that old dude now that gets pissed if anybody gets close to the lawn. Hey, get the hell off the grass. Go on.
You
That's
know
me
what?
now.
I got a new
Yeah.
I'm a new nickname for you. You are now Carl Bashir from Men of Honor. You're a Cuban Gooding Jr. with the till. I can see it right now. You got the lash and the horse, just the hands, just ready. What you doing over there? Yeah, get on.
Yeah, you know what? I got a green thumb though, man. I think I got a good feel for the botanical side
yo,
of things now. So
Yo,
yeah,
Boz, you know what I'm gonna
I've
do?
enjoyed it. But yeah, that's in a nutshell. Last few weeks for me, enjoying the baby girl.
Oh yeah.
But we've been needing to talk some 3x3, man. It's been a while getting our schedules together and obviously some big events. So y'all ready to get into it?
For sure.
All right. So quick rundown of the world tour for y'all who don't know. 3 stops, 3 different winners. Opener goes to Lehman, the sleeping giant.
Liman.
Open line, right? Then Chengdu, Oob sweep the thing with Killer Kaludenovic taking MVP. And then most recently in Zadar, we get our 3rd winner in a pretty crazy final, I would say. Comeback win for Miami over Amsterdam to join the winner's circle. So that's how things look on the World Tour. Women's Series, Boz, how many stops have there been now?
3 so far. It's been a North American dominated affair with the USA picking up 2 wins in the first 2 stops, and that team is super dominant, man. For those of you that haven't watched it, you know, they got a bunch of high-level NCAA talent on the squad, girls that have also featured in the Nations Leagues, the FIBA Youth Leagues in the past, so they actually have some 3x3 acumen. And, man, did they run the field. They played with 3. They came back and won an event, getting a 4th player on the final day with a jet lag and everything. She was impressive defensively. Malaysia Full Wiley is her name. That team deflects a lot of balls. They're super physical, super athletic. So that was the first 2 stops, and then they weren't there last weekend in Shanghai, which is when Canada took over. That was Canada's first event of the year. They bring a bit of a new roster, a couple of different players that some of us aren't familiar with. I know Tara Wallach was on Toronto last year, but they got, and I forget her name. Russell. She was on the AmeriCup team. Russell, there you go.
Russell,
I skipped my mind there. But Russell, who was on the AmeriCup team in 2025, was on our first Women's Series event, and she dominated for them, man.
She's an engine.
She's good.
She's like, and I don't mean to say it, she's like a more seasoned Casey in the sense of her energy. Just she's also back and forth, but she can score as well. So she could take over whenever she wants to, which also helps Plouffe and also helps Paige with the shooting. So I'm a big fan of her. And she's one of them 3x3 players that no matter what, she's enjoying the game, which again, with 3x3, if you're not really having much fun, sometimes you get in your head. She's just ready to ball out and just have a great time half court.
That was the sense I got from her at the AmeriCup. The first thing I noticed was her energy, her passion. She wanted to stamp her name on the game right off the bat. So good two-way player. Things popping off the Women's Series. We had a couple of challengers already, and Xi'an, and most recently in Manila. Hamburg's coming up. Boz, you'll be there for that.
Yep.
Basketball and Telecom won in Manila. Oh, it's escaping me right now. Who won in Xi'an?
Deching won in Xi'an.
Deching, that's right. Deching. Yeah, Deching. So, we off and running. Full steam ahead. We got some opinions on some things that have happened so far, I would say.
Oh, yes. Very much so.
Shall we start with the State of the League?
Yes.
State of the League. Okay.
Yeah, so I would say, I was thinking, so each of us bring 1 point, and let's try to limit it to 1. I'm talking to myself mainly. 1 point each about what we've seen so far in 2026 that has struck us in the State of the League. God, so we created a rundown. Me and Vince put our points up there. You didn't. So I'm kind of curious at what you have come up with here.
I always keep it, tight under the vest, just so I can kind of catch her off guard. This was not really a shock. I think Vince and I are similar, kind of on the same page. But I just think that it's a microcosm of what we're going to see for the whole season. It's a preview of what we're going to see in 2026, a revolving door of different winners. And that's not to say that Oob won't be dominant again, but I can't see any team in the league this year winning 6 master stops, 7 master stops. I don't know if we're at a changing of the guard. I don't see any heavy favorites when we go into the tournaments. Any, where it's so slanted to where you got 2 or 3 teams where you just know one of these 3 is going to win. I don't think we have that anymore. I see new faces ready to enter the MVP conversation. Kaladelovich.
Whoa. Yes, something. What?
In my throat.
Right there. Right there. Oh.
Yeah.
Allergies? There's allergies out there in Hungary?
But maybe a little bit of shift in the balance of power this season. I think it's going to be maybe more interesting this year than any other season.
Yeah, I mean, I got to second that. And I'm watching every team. And what I'm liking is that players that we've been telling the entire world to step up, and I think they've been listening. Also, shout out to everybody that's been commenting on the podcast. We have been getting more comments now, which is awesome. They're saying they're loving what they're hearing. But you see Dennis Donker finally stepping up, see from the old guard. Then we got young dudes from, Utsumiya Koulibaly. If he has like a better support system, he's also been hooping. We saw Ralph Wilson transform into Mr. Wilson again. And also, as you said, Lehman still have a shot. I mean, Vienna's still looking. Tony Blaze has been a blaze a couple of games. And I'm with Kyle. I'm looking at this year of going, okay, there's a lot of big changes we'll talk about in a little bit, but the Hoopers have been hooping in the offseason, and they're getting ready. Now, it's just 3 in, but I could see even a Toronto maybe at least getting to the semifinals even in farther and actually winning. So it's like, 3x3.
Yeah.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like what you guys are saying. I have to agree with that. I mean, look, it's early, and I think we may have said something similar last year, and then it ended up being an oob-dominated season once again. So, what I was thinking about, and I think if you have to view what you guys have said through the lens of this, right? Outside of the final day in Zadar, which was in a gym, which rarely happens in 3x3, what I've seen is a different line from the referees this year, and not in a bad sense. I actually like it. It seems like, and this is not inside information. I've not talked to referees. I don't have referees in my vicinity. Some of us do. So maybe you can elaborate on this, Kyle, but maybe you don't. But I've seen an added level of physicality allowed, right? And over the last few years, we saw referees kind of teeter a line where they wanted less physicality, but it was difficult for them to kind of hold a steady line in games, so teams never kind of knew what they were up against. Some games were physical, some games were not. It seems like now they're back to like saying, look, let's let physicality reign a little bit. Let's let it happen out there. I've liked that. I don't mind it, to be honest with you, because it's forced teams to think about their strategy differently. In the sense that over the last few years, we've seen a lot of teams go into the Serbian style of screening game because it was highly effective in the way the game was being called. Now you see different styles emerge that could beat, the added level of ball pressure that we're seeing, the added, pushing and shoving into paint potentially, with, for instance, Miami going back to the kind of the flow state that we've seen them in over the last few seasons, which works against that. Basket Spawn in a challenger bringing a supreme level of athleticism and size to try to beat the physicality. And I think I've enjoyed it so far. I don't mind it.
Well, me speaking on officiating is always a slippery slope because I'm married to an official who knows it from A to Z. I'm not crazy about it, if I'm going to be honest, boss. Only because did you see the recent game where we had 23 fouls? I want to say.
Yeah. Oh my God, the record of 23 fouls. Where was it? I think he had 25. It was between Antwerp and Sabona.
Antwerp and Sabona.
Yep.
That had to be one of the most unenjoyable games I've ever called. And I'm not. And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that these weren't fouls. They were, but I think that the players came into the game thinking that there was a different threshold for what draws a whistle for a foul. So they played, with that in mind. And now the fouls are racking up, and we got a game that's got single-digit points and double-digit fouls. It's frustrating for the players. It's frustrating for the people to watch. It's a difficult game to call. It's not pretty. It's not pretty 3x3. So
okay. So one note on that, because I do agree that was a terrible game. It was also super windy outside, and these are two teams that want to employ a 2-point shot. They couldn't get that. So scoring was very tough. No, so I think circumstances played into that. But if we look at the overall picture, right? Games have been tight. Games have been close. Maybe not as pretty as we've seen in the past. Again, outside of that final day in Zadar, which is a different kind of environment. But it's the closeness, the tightness of the games, the fact that teams have to battle it out through the last couple of minutes with a 1 or 2 point separation. There's a lot of tension, a lot of tightness. I like that a lot.
Yeah. It's a delicate balance that you have to find, and that's what that onus is on the players, and it's also on the officials too. I think 3x3 consumed at its highest level is fast. It's free flowing. It's an offensive game. You're sprinting to 21. And I am a basketball traditionalist. I grew up in the 80s. So you remember how the guards could check and you could play defense from the 80s through the 90s. So it's an important part of the game. Back when you could become a star in the league off of your defense. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But for 3x3, it's got to be fast. And I do think it should be slightly tailored to the offensive player more so than the defensive player. I think it's a better product. I think it's faster. Offense moves the needle.
Well, the thing about this is that I think we could transition. I know we had one first. I think we should go right into things we loathe, because I wanted to talk about that. Because I loathe in the sense of, I understand what Kyle's saying, physicality. I mean, come on. Big fan of Detroit Pistons right now. They got some physicality, but not as much as back in the day. However, you got to be calling like the loose ball fouls. This is when I'm not a referee, but a lot of games have been depicted on which you're going up for that rebound, but it's a sheer push that this guy's flying into like the baseline. I think one of the games with Amsterdam, literally Worthy was underneath the basket. Then I saw him in the stands, and rightfully so, is looking at the ref like, you got to see that arm. And then, sometimes Kyle, when you're commentating, you say, let me see the replay. I think the video guys like this, no, we can't show that replay. No.
You are spot on with that. You are full spot on with that.
It's like, we showed that. This was a clear miscall.
Oh, yeah.
I can also defend some guys in that scenario that you're talking about, Vince, because I saw some guys defenseless. Yeah. They can't even see the offensive rebounder flying in to try to get the board. He gets hammered, and a couple of occasions, that guy that got the worst end of it, he was called for the foul.
Oh, yeah, I saw that too. It's like, whoa, he got slapped, and then the cops are calling him to take him home. Oh, this ain't fair. And I get it. And as you just said before, it's such a fast-paced game. I have been a referee at camps, and I miss calls because sometimes you hear, like last night when I was playing ball, I know the ref saw like the hand go down, but was listening for skin on skin. When you hear, all right, foul. And it could have been me hit myself, so they're just using their ear. Plus, sometimes it's loud. If it's outside, it's windy. There's other factors. But there's some things that are just obvious. You're like, bro. And those are more, for me, the loose ball calls. One-on-one, when it comes to defense, when you're behind the arc going in, handsy, check, some bumps. Okay, I can be okay with that because that's just the game. That's like playing in the park, just upon a street ball. But when it's obvious that this almost got a DDT and it's going to be a WWE match, and which leads to players thinking that they could just hit like that. Sabona game, I forgot which, I think it's Jankovic or Spalletti, gets an inbound pass and then straight just back ends to Donker or something like that. Just gives like this hip check that's like, why did you even do that? You're already going to the basket. The dude's behind you. Why are you trying to take him out with your booty? Pause. Like, it's like, it didn't make no sense. So I said,
but it kind of does though, Vince. Like the thing is, and I again,
talk about it.
I'm not saying all teams should play this way, but I think Sabona takes a page out of Lehman's book where if they try to put as much body and pushing and shoving and slapping on you, that at some point the battle of attrition will go their way. And it did go their way in that game against Antwerp.
Yeah.
So it did serve a purpose. I'm not saying it's pretty again. Yeah, it served a purpose.
And look, I like Sabona, man. I like the ingredients they got on that team. I think that they're going to be a player in the near future, sooner than later. I know that's a different topic of conversation, but since we were talking about them, I figured I'd throw that in there. So
I know. I mean, 2 points against Lehman right now, one of the top teams right now in 3x3, even though the factors of the elements was probably a big component of it. But to keep up with Dragon Ball Z and all of them is something to be proud of, and doing it home court. So it gives a little bit of extra, zest to say, hey, the Croatians are coming in. Yacht Week ain't the only thing pretty coming from that country. We got some 3x3 players.
Nice.
Yeah, true.
I don't really have anything that I loathe.
You don't have anything, huh?
Not that I can say.
Hey, why don't we get that replay?
Not that I can say. So when I saw that on the rundown, I'm like, what do I loathe about the game right now? I don't know. Maybe I'll have an answer by the time you're done, boss. But I can't. It's nothing I can.
Nothing from the hate, double hate, triple hate, loathe entirely.
Well, let me do it then. Look, the thing I loathe so far, and I think it's a pretty obvious thing that we've seen this season, is the injuries, man. Like, of course, we started the year with that horrific Leon Fatigue injury that man, it took the air out of an entire venue. It shook me for at least a good hour. I'll tell you that. I needed a bunch of sugar and at least a couple of beers that night to get the screams out of my head. So that was a bad one. He will apparently be back this year. Yeah. Apparently it's the cleanest version of a break in the ankle, and he looks to return. I think I'll see him next week or this weekend in Hamburg, so I'll check in with him. But so news on that is apparently good. Now, we saw in the Xi'an Challenge, we saw Paulius Biljavicius go down with a calf injury for Aranvaris. Norris Miezis is on a flight home to Latvia after breaking his nose in practice after doing so well for Ulaanbaatar for the first couple of events that he's been with them. He's not going to be in action for the foreseeable future. We've had some guys come into the season injured. We're talking Strahinja Stojicic, who's been good in some games, but he's been rounding back into form, so to say. Pukela's still injured. Like, there's so many injuries this year, man, and I just don't like it at all. It sucks. It takes away from the beauty of the game. It takes away from certain teams to be able to perform. I loathe it. I don't like it at all.
And I you guys have been in the game a lot more, especially when it comes to commentating, and we are going to give so many prayers to Fatigue because that boy was going to be on a tear this year. He was balling indeed. But I've never seen an injury like that in a long time live. I mean, things that give me kind of like PTSD was probably Louisville. I remember that college kid that jumped up, and that was the craziest break. And then Paul George's during the NBA season. But who I really was second feeling bad for was Jalgis. Jalgis was one right under, and if you saw the way he rode out, he knew something was crazy and felt bad. And again, wasn't your fault. And I'm saying this on the podcast. Jalgis, it's not your fault because you saw it deflated the whole squad and deflated the arena. Accidents like that happen. There's nothing you could have done there, buddy. And I know you probably, and everybody went to Fatigue, praying for his recovery and stuff like that. But it was horrible. But man, I just want to know, have you guys ever seen an injury like that in any other seasons of 3x3? Or like that's right now number one?
No, not live. Yeah. We've seen some twisted knees, couple times.
Some ACL stuff like
some ACLs, stuff, but nothing
like this.
Quite like that. Yeah, I mean those are. I agree. I mean, you certainly hate the injuries, especially when it's to star players, difference makers. Look at a team like the Skyliners, who we had penciled in to be, maybe a top 3, top 4, top 5 team this year. I think that much about them. The good news with them is that there's good news on the Fatigue front that, like Bob said, he may be able to come back sooner than we thought. Yep. Not as much damage as it looked visually, so it wasn't quite as bad. But, you look at the Jalgis, like, you could argue that Jalgis is the best player for Aranvaris.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, given the end of last season and this year, Jalgis has been the guy. Instead of Pukelis, what does that now take them to as a power?
But he's not hurt, right? So it's just his mentality after that injury. It's Biljavicius that is now out for them. Pukelis is still out.
Yeah, my bad. I thought, but So Giannis is good. He's not hurt at all.
No, it's just
he's
the
good. He's just
mental
we're
of it.
talking about the mental aspect of it.
Because he felt
he's
it
the one
under
to,
him. Like he felt it snap. And like I've been a part of breaking a couple of noses playing basketball, and after you do it, if you actually care about the person, you're like, oh, I know I hurt you and I'm sorry. Or you don't care about the person and you go, well, guess we'll get an ice pack and I don't care. But with that situation, it was like you saw he was like, something's wrong. I'm gonna go to the sideline, and you see like Koompa's like, what's going on? And then when you look, you're like, oh, that's it. And like you said, I'm not gonna lie. Everyone, we're talking about this. You don't need to see that game because it's all the way at the tail end of the game.
No, don't go watch it.
I kid you not, Boz. You said do not watch. It took me about 3 days. I'm like, I skipped every other game.
I did not see it.
Oh,
and I'm not going to look at it.
You don't need to because
I saw it.
It's still in my ear.
It haunted me for a couple days.
And it looks like it looks like CGI. It looks like CGI. You're like, that's not real. That's real. That's real. But he's gonna come back stronger though. He's gonna come back stronger.
Can we get off the sad stuff, man? With the things,
please, yes.
Let's get to the things we love to the things we love. Things we love. Mine is quick. I'll tell you what I love this year. I always love to see new locations added to the tour.
Beautiful.
Just we're in Croatia, a country with a rich basketball history, hosting their first Masters there. We're going to Malaga later this year. We got the World Cup going down in Warsaw, Poland for the first time ever. Whispers that we may have a couple of more new stops later this year. Not confirmed yet, but there are little birdies flying around saying that. So I just think, of course, Rio de Janeiro for the final this year to close the year. So I think, having these countries invested in the sport is a good thing, giving those fan bases in those cities, a chance to watch 3x3 played at the highest level, up close and personal. And it gives, us, a new vision, a new feel, a new vibe. We have our staple locations on the tour that we know we're going to go to every year and always love going back, Amsterdam is one of them. Vienna's now. We've been going there for several years now. Love those places. But when I look on the tour schedule and I see a Zadar, I see a Malaga, I say, oh yeah, okay. What's their top 3 foods there?
Exactly.
What's the must see locations there? So, for me, that's one thing I love.
Cannot lie. I was a little bit jealous when I saw you got Zadar. I've been on vacation in that area before, right above it, Privlaka, which is it's a little town like 15 minutes above Zadar, and the seafood is incredible. The scenes there are beautiful. So I was a little jealous.
I had some that seafood too, by the way.
Don't talk to me about that. Nope.
Don't
want to hear.
Hey, what was your favorite seafood, Kyle? How about that?
I'm signing off.
I can't name the dish, but I love octopus. So they had this black risotto, octopus, little glass of white wine,
squid ink,
right off the water. That was before the weather went to shit.
I'm sure y'all can continue this podcast with just the two of y'all.
That was probably the only thing you missed was a bunch of rain, man, and obviously the food. But I think there's gonna be opportunities in the future.
Oh, let's hope so. So Vince. Yeah. What do you love about, this year's 3x3 action?
I'm loving the melting pot. Kyle's been saying this so many times on the broadcast. On these teams now are coming together. Usually we have, the purists that if you're from China, if you're from Belgium, if you're from whatever, you had to have the players from there to be on there. I mean, look at Dei-Ching. We got Esposito from Spain. Then we got Laches over there in Serbia. Then we got to the Guozhang, which is great. Toronto, I think, is the number one melting pot of all the teams right now. And it's been actually great to watch. You got a Mexican, you got a Belgian, you got a one Canadian, and then you got a Swiss guy, and all these talents.
Dominican/Swiss guy. Wes is originally he's Dominican.
So again, can do some he got bachata and also chocolate. It's like all that kind of stuff all in one, which is awesome. And then also to look at, Ulaanbaatar, again, to me, again, I hope he comes back, to have the Mays give a little bit of 1-2, and also with a Canadian being the coach, we still got, Sir still trying to put his 1-2 in there. It's beautiful to me to watch a song like different teams looking at other talents and trying to find that perfect match, trying to make sure they get as many matches as possible, and not scared to use different talents from all over the world. And it gives so much of a light to me of the kids, young men and women are like, hey, look, where should I go and play ball? You can actually go overseas, be part of a team, make history, and win a couple of dollars because, again, getting about 10 G's a weekend is nothing to be shy about. And if you keep it going, you can make a good living. So I'm just liking the melting pot of talent on all these squads for this year of 3x3.
Yeah.
I agree. And, just a little bit off topic. Well, not really off topic here, but speaking of Wes, I got to shout out the funniest Instagram story I've seen in a minute. He posted for Bikramjit Gill's birthday. He posted a meme where a guy had his glasses off, and it showed. And Vince, you'll know this guy. You remember that Unk taxi driver that hoops in New York?
Oh yeah,
the bearded guy that's always
guy,
physical with everybody.
Yep.
Guy had his
West
glasses
Coast.
off, and it showed him screaming. And then the second picture showed the guy with his glasses on, and it showed Big Gill, who also has a big beard. And that shit had me rolling, bro. Anyway, that shit was funny. I wanted to mention that because it was hilarious to me. But the thing I love this year, and it's obvious if you've been paying attention, FIBA 3x3 has now collabed with a lot of teams to self-create or at least help design their uniforms, and it has been really cool to me. There's these little intricate details. Amsterdam's got the triple X's for the Amsterdam stuff on the front of their jersey in an intricate design. The Skyliners have kind of the pinstripes, but then the back, the rhythm is broken and it says
magic.
Skyliners.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
And honestly,
old school magic.
those are super dope. But honestly, the best one to be the Toronto ones, man.
Oh, Canada, the Maple Leafs on top.
White shirt with a red, gray, and black maple leaf on it.
Yes,
get
that's
me
right.
one. Those are dope, man.
I wore this one right here. So I got a couple old school threes when we used to be sponsored by this company here. And I can actually look at the jersey as it transforms over the years. I mean, look, there's certain things you can wear on the court. Sometimes you could go to the club. I'm finally getting tatted now. I'm about to get some 3x3 jerseys, get an extra medium, make that tight, and just walk down the street with my jeans. And that's all I need. It look good.
I love it too because it also makes teams more marketable, right?
Yeah.
So you got that individual look for that specific team. I just think it's another element that fans could gravitate to.
Yeah.
I think it's something that's overdue. It's cool. It looks better. And I got to find out who I need to talk to get one of them.
Yeah, same here. Please.
I already sent my text messages.
I'll take one.
And slide me one of those. So, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one, Bonds. I think what's next on the list? Biggest off-season ad?
Yes.
Yeah.
Biggest. I think we're going to overlap here because.
Oh yeah.
I would say there's four top 5 guys worthy of being in the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I think we
Me
can
and
go 10
Bob's
deep.
always tend to pick the same one. So I'm gonna leave the guy I know you're gonna pick, and I'm gonna go with the obvious pick, and that's Killer.
Oof.
That's Filip Kaludanovic of Team
Yeah.
Ooh. He's been exactly what they need, providing an offensive punch. He doesn't turn the ball over. Makes a run to MVP in Chengdu. A few days ago in Zadar, he shoots nearly 40% from two-point land, over 5 a game. He's averaged over 5 a game this year. Number 2 on the scoring charts this season. Shows up in big moments, man. He's so calm under pressure. I love it, man. I like to add this offseason. We've been talking about Kaludanovic to Ooh from the very beginning. Huge news. The question was he going to be able to deliver? Was he going to be able to mesh with Oob's system and, almost flawlessly for them to go full steam ahead? So far, so good. I know they've won one, but semifinalists in the other 2 Masters. I mean, right now he's the key to that team, and that's no shade to Strahinja or anybody else. But Strahinja's a little bit banged up. Killer's that dude that they can lean on every play, every game.
Yep.
I agree with you. I agree. I've been watching this guy, and I'm going to say right now, Autobots, let's roll. This guy is the semi-truck. This dude is amazing to Lehman.
Simunovic, yeah.
Yes, Simunovic. Number 1 in the scoring charts right now. Stats are pretty good. 69% from 1. Can shoot a couple of 2s. 40% from 2. 80% from 3, which, Kyle, you had a stat line. What is the 3 percentage of an average good 3x3 player? What you said it was like.
I was going to say the benchmark is 70 from 1, 30 from 2, and 80 from the free throw line.
And this man hits every single one. Now, I thought he was going to be immobile, I pick things up and put them down, them kind of big dudes. He's actually normal. He's not like a Forte. He doesn't go to the same, shoulder every single time. He can actually get behind the arc. He can jab step. And the man plays defense. He's also a big dude. Now, got to work on the, versatility. Sometimes you got someone like the Gladiator in front of you or, Worthy that can dribble. But I'm looking at this guy, and he's transforming. First 2 stops, great. Third stop, shaky. But I think the semi-truck, the Autobot Optimus Prime from Lehman, keep going and keep rolling. You a good boy with this.
He's a dream in the pick and roll or pick and pop.
Yep.
Because he's a capable shooter beyond the arc. You see how wide his frame is, so he can get to the bucket. He can finish through contact. Dependable free throw shooter. The semi-truck, man. My question is, can he keep up this pace for the duration of a 3x3 season?
You're right.
You can start off hot, a few tournaments. I want to see the semi-truck here in 3 months or so. Once we get to mid-season, is he still hitting on all cylinders?
But he did this last year for Taipei Wanbao. Now, I know it's in a way smaller capacity for a team that doesn't feature on the pro circuit more than a bunch of challengers, but he did the same stuff. And what I've liked in his addition to Lehman is the fact that they've put him kind of as their playmaker. He gets the ball on the nail, and then he just kind of figures out who to go screen, whether to deny that screen and go to the basket. And I was speaking to their coach, I think it was back in Utsunomiya, and he mentioned, this guy, somehow, every time we need it, he gets a bucket. So it's not just the fact that he sets his teammates up and he's a dependable scorer. He gets the scores in moments that matter a lot.
Yeah.
Now, I think, again, last weekend in Zadar, they didn't have the best showing because they also didn't feature a second screener. I think he works best if there is a secondary screener around him.
Boom.
But I've been highly impressed with him. I think Milivojevic deserves a mention here, who's been doing well for Lehman as well.
Yeah.
I went way down the line here, and instead of going with the names that we all kind of know, right? So we could have talked about Norris Mieses, although he's broken his nose now, he'll be out for a while. We could have talked about Zhang or Exposito going to Deqing. Yep. I think those are big ads as well. Riley Batten, he deserves a mention. He hasn't played well so far, but he is a new ad for Miami, of course. But I was watching the Xi'an Challenger. And then I looked at a pair of guards that got all the way to the finals from the qualifying draw in Kyle Guy and Eric Demers. And I think that team, and I'll curse here, that team is going to be fucking good. Holy shit.
They're fast.
That team is going to be fucking amazing.
Yo, my goodness. It was nice watching them.
These dudes, they played a small ball lineup, right? We're talking Malik Kalujawecki, Kyle Guy, Eric Demers. All these guys are probably 6'2" on a good day. Then they add I'd say an undersized screener in Devin Gilligan, and they fucking go. I got to stop cursing here, but they went, bro. Like they shot shots. Kyle Guy got to every spot on the floor he wanted to get to. He's both a shooter from the outside as well as a mid-range shooter. He's got great awareness of what a screen coverage does to him. He'll get his teammates involved as well. But it's the combination with Eric Demers that really gets it going. Demers hit a 42% clip from range, 10 to 24 in main draw. So we're talking pool play all the way to the finals in 5 games. So on almost 5 twos a game, he hit 42% of those. And he's gotten, I think so far in 2 events, he's gotten 4 10-point games. He can go off. He can hit shots. He can get to the rim. And I think the combination between those two guys, although it is undersized, and again, they don't have the 3x3 acumen yet, they don't know what they're going to do on defense, they can outscore teams. And it'll be a really dangerous team if they can continue this. And even so again, even in this lineup, they've gotten the deepest. They got Eric Dixon as well, who only played in Manila. He showed the ability to take over a game as well. He's been compared to the G League's Julius Randle in the past. I know Randle hasn't had the best of showings over the last couple of weeks here, but he's got a similar skill set in the sense that he's sizable. He can screen, but he can break you down off the dribble. He can shoot as well. I think Phoenix will rise, man. Like, Phoenix is a team to watch.
This is why you were
I've been hearing the whispers, and I knew that they had talent on paper. Like Kyle Guy, anytime you play in the league, bro, like you're going to be ready to play 3x3 once you learn the intricacies of the game.
Yeah,
I want to see him on the tour, man. Like
we'll see him in Amsterdam. They qualified now.
Well, it's on there, and no better place for them to debut on the tour this year than Amsterdam. That venue, that city, those fans. Oh, shit.
That's why you're Dr. Roboznik right there, because I watched the Challenger and I went. It was like they were teleporting to the spots. If they start learning the real intricacies of 3x3, they could be better. But they were not fearful. And again, to go from the qualifying, y'all don't understand, if you're listening, how much energy, how much poise you have to go from the qualifying draw all the way to even the quarterfinals takes a lot out of you, because you are beat up. And sometimes you go right into the pool right after you're done for the qualifying. So there's no recovery. But I want to ask you guys a question. We talked about the additions, and he's probably going to hurt me a little bit, but I want to talk about him. How y'all feel about Mr. Robot on Vienna? I watched it, and I saw a Klein, but it looks like the team was here, and he was there, but then it went like this. He was scoring more, but then does he fit in the Vienna chemistry and style of play?
Well, it's a very Did Vienna look better in Zadar than they looked at any other place this year? Yes.
Yeah. A little bit. Yeah. A little bit.
That wasn't just because of Stojacic. That's because of Blazon, too.
Yeah, Blazon
played great. And he probably hasn't gotten enough credit, I'll just speak for myself, from me, and what he brings to Vienna. They needed something. Vienna was out of life. From the end of last season heading to this year, we had them pegged as one of the teams that certainly has something to prove, and they look better to me. I was actually encouraged by what I saw from Vienna with Mr. Robot, even though he's been out, even though he's 38 years old. Didn't play great outdoors, but when they stepped inside, he played well. I thought he looked good.
Yep.
Give him a month of practice with Vienna.
Yeah, no help.
And I think Vienna's going to be back in the mix as a contender. I don't see him in that upper tier, in that type of conversation. Yeah,
but Matthias Lenortner is also potentially still coming back, right?
Wait a minute, I got to see that dynamic. You think Stojacic and Matthias Lenortner are not going to butt heads when they get on that court?
No, I think they'll be fine. I think Lenortner is a great role player. I think he'll understand what's at stake here, and I think he knows he needs Stojacic, because I think the players asked for him to come back. Because remember, he played on Vienna in the past.
Okay. Yep.
And I don't know. And that didn't end. That didn't end fun. I know there was some stuff there, but the players asked for him to come back. Meaning they must like him on the squad. They must see his value there. And I think Lenortner, first and foremost, has the vision on what this squad could become. Now the question, the larger question, always is Vienna style still kind of proofed in 3x3 nowadays? And I don't know. I've with the way they've been playing over the last season, I don't know. We'll see.
They got to get some scoring, man. The defense is there, but they got to have some reliable scoring. And Diggs hasn't been able to do it consistently enough. I think you bring Lenortner. When Lenortner gets healthy, they'll have that. If Blazon keeps shooting with confidence and playing the way that he's playing, and you got Stojacic, then you got your offense. And Blazon's a defensive player too. We know what Lenortner does on the defensive end. I think they're going to be all right. But if they get healthy, they're going to be good. So that leads us into, unless you got another thought, Boz.
No, I was going to transition, so go ahead.
So it's always fun, and it's always controversial. I get so much shit on the road from players and teams when we do these Power Fives. And I always try to preface this segment of the show by saying Power Five means the hottest teams as of right now. Fresh off the last tournament, the hottest teams. It doesn't mean best five overall teams. It's who's streaking, who's not. You can have the best record in the league, but if you go into a tournament and you drop out day one, it's going to be difficult for you to be in the Power Five for that week, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to preface it anymore. Here's my Power Five. In at number 5, drum roll, Toronto. No, not Antwerp. No, not the Skyliners. Toronto. Actually, I didn't pick Antwerp because they've actually been declining in their placing from the start of the season. They went from 4th in Utsunomiya, I think 6th in Chengdu, and they finished 7th in Zadar. Skyliners, hard to put them as one of the 5 hottest teams in the league with the fatigue injury. You know, without that, who knows? They might be number 1. But so those 2 were disqualified. And the next team that I could think about, I said, it's got to be Toronto. Quietly 8th in Chengdu. They played in a few challengers as well this year, and then they finished 4th in Zadar with this kind of hodgepodge group of players that Wes Montani done put together. Wes does this every year, man. Like,
yep.
New team, he just GMing his ass off, picking guys that we see on paper, and we say, oh, he's a little long in the tooth. Oh, this guy, I don't know, man. And yet, they just got this fight about him, man. This fortitude about this team. And talent. Zasadi is probably an underrated player when it comes to his talent and his skill, his scoring ability, his passing. Vervoort hasn't woken up yet, but when must-see TV, when he gets his signal together, Wes is going to be like, they're going to be okay, right? And Adam Page, big body, big frame. He's yet to reach his potential too. But I put them at number 5 because I wanted to give Toronto some love. All right, number 4.
And don't forget, man, just one more ad. They still have Big Gil, but also Adres de Leon still waiting in the wings.
Yep. Who won MVP last year, I want to say.
In Macau, yes.
Right? So, look, Toronto might be a surprise this year. 4, Amster. You know the
Damn.
Okay.
See, timing way off.
Runners up. It was only their 2nd tournament of the year. I mean, since the opener, right? No challengers. They've just done a couple of Masters this year, and I thought
they played one challenger. They were bad. It was before the opener.
Oh yeah, that's true. Right before, yeah, true. Right before Utsunomiya. Worthy, 15 in the semifinals.
Yeah, that was
He's
silly.
looking revamped. Alberts comes in his first action since the World Tour final last year. I thought he played well. I'm not even gonna say nothing about AVT because I ain't got nothing bad to say about AVT ever. I like AVT, man. I'm a Van Tilburg fan. Andreessen. So they end up blowing a big lead in the final. I'm a sweep past that part because it's kind of ironic that the 2 teams that have had this kind of issue has been Miami and it has been Amsterdam to an extent, having that 5-point lead late and then somehow letting it slip through their fingers. This time it goes Miami's way, and it's still good enough for Amsterdam to be 4 for me. Number 3, and this team I think was the hottest team in the entire league coming into the Zadar Masters. That's Lehman, right? Didn't show so well in Zadar. I'm not gonna harp on that, but still they're a top 3 hottest team in the league to me. Winning in Utsunomiya, they've got 4 finals this year, including challengers. So they've been to 4 title games already. That's damn near good enough to still be number 1. But 3 for me. Number 2, Oob. They've been consistent. Win it in Chengdu, 3rd place in both the opener and 3rd place in Zadar. That's solid enough for 2 for me. And number 1, simply from the fact that they're our most recent Masters winner, it's got to be Miami. They're the hottest team right now because of the most recent winner. They showed some resolve. They showed some guts. James Parrott finally played like the superstar that I know that he should be playing as more. And they get it done. So that's my Power 5.
All right. Who do you want to go next, Vince, or do you want me to go?
I can go next.
Come on, Chang, what you got?
I can go next because it's. I don't like you, man. I don't like you.
It's the same 5?
It's basically the same 5. Like, because, and I had different reasons for that. But it's only one last is different. So 5 which again, out of the challenger, and I was actually putting him at I can't wait to see how they're going to be, is Dai Ching. I think Dai Ching is at number 5. I think right now from that child, they have that talent. They have what they have. I'm a big Lashes fan. I am also an Exposito fan. And I think if Exposito can get more of that dominant scoring, but then has his defense, it's great. And Guo
he doesn't need to.
He doesn't need to, but when he does, that's just some extra great sauce to the pot. I don't think it's in his nature,
though, Vince. I don't think he's an offensive-minded player.
When he won, was it the Euro Cup?
World Cup, yeah, but he was still the third leading scorer on that squad. He hit a bunch of twos, but his defense is ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
he's got to be the second most crafty defender outside of Worthy, bro.
How do you say glove in Spanish?
I think he's better than Worthy.
Oh, that's good. No, Vince, you onto something though.
Yeah,
we need to figure out how you say the glove in Spanish.
How do you say the glove in Spanish?
I'll have it for you in a second. Go ahead, Vince. My bad.
Because that's right there. That he could be the Spanish glove. He wraps around. He's just like that. He's like Venom. He's a symbiote. Once he's on, he's not gonna let you go. But I said also as a big Venom fan and a Carnage fan, because I love symbiotes of Spider-Man, they're also can take you out. They can transform into different weapons, and he could be that. I think he hasn't unlocked that yet. And once he does, it's gonna be key. Then going up number 4, Amsterdam. Can't stop about Lehman. I'm a big Dragon Ball Z fan. Ooh, yes. But reason I want to talk about Miami, yes, people can call me a homer. I have seen Parrot be revitalized, rejuvenated, and re-amplified. This man is not only the last couple of games was this. Yes, we know he could dunk. You know he's air power for a reason. And I don't know what kind of sound you did on the broadcast. That was weird. I was like, that doesn't make. However, it was his ability to keep the play going. There was 4 plays almost in a row. Goes in, someone misses. He taps it up, re-gets the ball, goes up, boom, scores. Another one, goes up twice, misses, gets his own rebound, gets another rebound, goes behind it. The winner he had when he hit the bank corner 3, which a corner 2, which we don't see a lot. He's great. And he's still stopping mothers at the rim. He's still got the guard of the North. This dude is a certified bucket and now defender. I don't know, it's because of the baby girl growing up. Both you are fathers. I'm not. It gives you another je ne sais quoi to your game. It's like, yo, I'm not just playing for me. I got to make this money. Okay, I'm going to think of every play for my baby girl needs some new diapers. And then also, finally, Mr. Han, Cinnamon, knocking it down. The 1-2 punch was key. If you got Air Parrot running to the rim, but then gets 2 defenders up, and you're doing some nice pass behind the arc and now have confidence that Mitch Han can knock it down. Come on. Miami looking good. Miami Vice is here. But again, as you said in the beginning of the podcast, this is only the 3rd tournament. We have to see this throughout the entire season. I'm a Cowboys fan, and I'm just saying, I get lit up in the beginning, and then toward the end, it starts going down. But I'm not going to stop being a fan. But Miami, there's something different in the water. I don't know. It's because maybe the Olympic season is coming back right now. Maybe there's something that could be kids, but Miami is true to be number 1 right now.
Okay. All right.
You guys are very quick to forget the Utsunomiya 7th place and the Chengdu 5th place here, where they looked terrible, frankly.
Yeah, but here's the thing: they're looking better now. It's just the beginning of the season.
Yes, but don't forget. And look, I don't want to put the blame all on him. I think it's going to be better with reps, but like they looked out of sorts with Riley Batten in the mix. Again, they played really well in Zadar. I don't want to take away from that. And again, that makes them one of the hottest teams in 3x3. I agree.
My bad. I got to be right back. My dog is tearing something in the yard real quick. I got to stop him.
Oh, all right. Well, we lost Kyle there. He went to the yard. No, but Viz, like, think about it. So I agree with the fact that they played well in Zadar, but they showed all the things that we know them to be good at, right? So they showed that they led the tournament in key assists. They led the tournament in drives. They barely turned the ball over. They rebounded the ball well. They had the spacing. They had the flow. They had the movement. They had all of it, which is what enabled Parrot to play good, which is what enabled Han to hit shots. Okay. In Chengdu and Utsunomiya, their chemistry was broken. And again, they've added a new piece in Batten, but he's not fit their offense. He's not fit their flow just yet. And I can't forget about that because he is still on the roster, and he's going to be played somewhere again. You're not going to leave him off the roster for the rest of the year because they've added him for a reason.
Yeah, I hear you.
So I can't bump him to first. So I'll get you guys my list. So I put Deching fifth because the recent Challenger win, I think they've looked pretty good. I bumped Lehman down to fourth because they were really hot to start the year, but that 8th place finish last week in Zadar, that kind of muddled the waters there for me. Amsterdam with a deep run and a 6-point lead in the finals, I'll put him third. Miami, because of the reasons I just mentioned, I still give him second because if you think about Oob's body of work this year, 3 Masters in, 3 top 3 finishes. It took a 14-13 win from Lehman in the semifinals at the opener to keep him away from the finals, and who knows what could have happened there. That was a coin flip of a game. That could have gone any which way. It took a 15-point explosion from Worthy to keep him from the finals in Zadar. 15 points.
This is insane.
And they went up to him afterwards and shook his hand and said, "Good job, brate." Like, that's that. What are you going to do? Somebody just hits that many shots, like, you're out. But if not, they would have been back in the finals for the second Masters in a row. Yeah. Everybody who worked this year so far has been the most consistent. It's been, even despite having to change the lineup because of injury, because remember, Brankovic, he hurt his hamstring early in the year. Stojic came back early off of a shoulder injury. We haven't seen Dejan Majstorovic yet at all. We've only seen 5 players on the roster. Barac had some ankle issues. They've still gotten the job done, and they have been this close. Very close to 3 finals. Okay. So I gotta put him at 1.
Okay. I can't argue with that one. I went back and forth with myself on that one too because, like I said, model of consistency. They're right there. Yeah. All right. Those are Power 5. Those might not be that controversial. We'll see how people respond. And again, we always encourage y'all to chime in. Give us what y'all think. Hit us on the gram, all the social media platforms. Because we want to have topics of conversation on the show. Maybe we'll argue with some of y'all. Next topic of conversation is the Shanghai Masters. I'll be actually in Greece. Boz will be in Hamburg. So we'll be spectators from afar for this next Masters. But each of us have a bold prediction. Vince, would you like to start us off with your bold prediction for Shanghai?
I do. And I think, and we're just talking about how they face against a scrappy new team, down by 6, and came out on top. Deching. I think Deching is going to turn some heads at this Shanghai Masters. And I'm liking the talent. I'm liking what they get, but let me make sure I got who they're going to be going against, all right.
Cervena, Zvezda, and Lehman.
Yep. So, I think they got a chance to get their first one. I really do. I mean, if Lashes just steps up. That is
a bold prediction.
Just a little bit.
I kind of like it. I like it.
Me too.
We've seen Zhang score over 10 points multiple times. He is an offensive powerhouse. And as we just said, did we get the Spanish word for glove with Exposito?
We did. I'm going to give it to you right now. Give me a 5-second countdown. It is el guante.
El guante. El guante.
I hit it for
El guante. El guante. Okay? That's going to be Guime Exposito. El guante. If he can shut down any of the top scorers on any team, all you got to do is watch Mr. Hayu Guo go, Lashes latch onto that rim, and then Zhang just do his thing. And Deching gets their first Masters.
Quite a bold prediction, but I like it. That's not a bad one. I wish I would have came up with that.
Boz, you want to go?
I kept it a lot safer, I'll be honest with you. I didn't go as far as to say the 8th seed is going to go win it all. So what I watched this team mainly in the under-23s in last year's under-23 World Cup. I didn't see these at our qualifying draw because it wasn't broadcast. But I think Kaunas VDU was competitive. They beat Utsunomiya Brex. They played Los Angeles into an overtime and lost it on a Brian de Valk 2. And this team, to me, has got the tools to be an interesting one, right? So they got a bunch of winners. They got offensive ability. They have an identity and an idea behind the way they play. So I think when it comes to the Shanghai pools, which they'll face off with Antwerp and Ulaanbaatar MMC Energy, who will not be having access to Nars Miezes. I think Kaunas might make it out of the pool this time around, and I think they might make some noise in the quarterfinals.
Okay. All right. Okay. Young Bucks.
That's not that bad. I think they might make it out of the pool phase, and they might.
I think Kaunas will make it out of the pool. Okay, let's say that. Kaunas will make it out of the pool. I got some belief in these young fellas, man. They won the under-23s last year. They got some proven winners, and the system I think works. They got the bodies to make things happen. I like the makeup of this team. I'm not saying they're a winner. This is their first World Tour, but I think they'll come into the knockout rounds and make it really hard on a team.
Okay. So Vince Deching, and you're going with with Kaunas. The team that I'm going to make my bold prediction about will very likely have to go through both of those teams. Certainly one of those teams, but maybe yours, Vince.
Okay.
It's going to be Antwerp, but it's not just going to be Antwerp that win this tournament. Antwerp are going to sweep this competition. They are not going to lose a single game.
Sweep?
They're not going to lose a game. They're going to go 5-0. Logo Joe and Dennis Dominis are going to combine for 65 points. They're going to shoot 47% from deep. I know I'm being very specific, but I had a dream about this. It was weird. I woke up and the numbers were there. 47% from deep.
Okay.
And for a fourth master stop, we will have a fourth different winner, and it will be Antwerp.
Okay.
If you get the 47% right, you better get me a lottery ticket, my friend.
that one may or may not, but they're going to sweep. Look, their group is like Ulaanbaatar without Miezes. I mean, he had given them that lift, right? They're not going to be the same. The other team they got in the
got
group,
Kaunas.
The Kaunas. Yes, then you got the young Lithuanians.
I see the potential that Bob says. I'm not a believer yet. They're going to cross with potentially Lehman or Deching in the quarters. I think a hot shooting game from Forts and Donker is enough to beat either of those teams. And then they'll have the momentum that'll carry them through the semis and the final. I don't even care who they see then. I'm sticking with a pick 5-0. Antwerp.
And it is an interesting event though, because the field in the last three Masters has been super strong, right? Like the first three Masters to start the year, the field's been high. This one is a little bit light in the pants. Let's just say that. It's not as prolific in the sense that, of course, we got Lehman as a top team there, but then Skyliners, they've been top four in the last few events, but they've had to adjust after fatigue. Antwerp, I agree, as a third seed, a heck of a run maybe in store for them. Ulaanbaatar, no Miezes. Shanghai is frankly just sucked throughout this year. They have been bad. They have been horrible. Baskets Bond, you never know what lineup they bring. They brought a super tall lineup and won a challenger, then they went super short and went out in the pool.
But
I don't. There's not a lot of teams that can make some noise here. At least a lot of teams that can make noise, but not a lot of top teams.
Didn't I say Shanghai was going to get lower on our first podcast? I literally said Shanghai was going.
Somehow you were right on that.
Yeah, I was like, I told you. I was like, I don't see it coming.
Not a season left there, Chang. Not a season left.
But I just want to say real quick, can we call him K squared? Because Corrigan Crop, the crop duster, and also the bearded scorer are a good tandem team. I gotta admit, I'm liking what they do. I ain't saying they're gonna win, but we can't count them out because they could just be raining.
You're right. So Kyle, wait. I don't know if I didn't hear this yet or whether you've just saved this for the future and you don't want to drop it on the pod here, but I mentioned to you that I was calling Nicholas Crop the Robo Crop, which I think is a really good nickname. And you said, nah, we don't take that. We take mine. And I'm curious. I need to know.
Say that. I said roll with it if you want to roll with it, but I'm going to stick with mine.
What's yours?
It is a to be determined. I'm going to unveil it at the next Masters.
Come on.
I am going to unveil it. I have been in the lab. No, let me not hype this up. Crop duster's not bad either. I like crop duster too.
Crop duster.
Crop duster just means you spraying the whole place.
Yep, exactly.
It means you fart on somebody.
Well, he's going to shit on these mothers. That's what he's going to
Okay. I think it's time to wrap this up.
No, but I think Crop has done enough. And he's earned the nickname, man. He's a good kid. He's hooping.
The harvest is coming. He has a harvest that it's time to till. And with the green thumb, something's going to sprout. Something's going to get from his talent and how he's getting better. Also, getting a little stronger, getting a little more muscles on them bones. But again, to come out of Koyich, which Koyich we always knew of him being a dominant scorer, definitely able, not fearful to shoot behind the two. Krop isn't afraid either. And no one's leaving him open no more. They're actually closing out even faster than before.
Confidence.
Yep.
It's his psyche. It's what's between the ears now. That's what the veteran Koyich, that first year when he's biting on your ass, pause. When he's jumping, he's jumping down everybody's throat. He's being a dog. He's being an alpha dog. Yep. It's a little bit offsetting for a dude like Krop, who's, he's kind of a docile dude. He's not the most vocal guy. But once he adjusts and he realized that Koyich's message to them was really out of love and out of belief that they could be better, and he starts to encourage them. And Boz and I talked with Koyich about this a few weeks ago, and he said that he's the most important player on the team, and that was I think before the fatigue injury.
Yes.
And for somebody like Koyich to say that about Nicholas Krop, I think is resounding. That's he doesn't say that about many players, and you hardly ever hear him say anything like that. So, for him to kind of give his approval for Krop in that way made me look at Krop a little differently. So,
real quick, hold on. Wasn't the game when the Skyliners faced Antwerp beginning? You had an interview with him, Boz, and didn't Krop said, having an experienced guy like Stefan is great, but it's not the easiest. He said it can be tough at all times. And
in that same conversation me and Kyle had with Koyich, he also mentioned that he was the toughest on Nicholas Krop, and he was continuously on his ass. So I'm sure Krop doesn't always have the best of days with the Stefan just yelling at him all the time. But again, I think he's accepted the fact that it's getting him better and it's getting their team better, and he's buying in. And his growth step has been incredible this year. It is just, again, the confidence is beaming. He's hitting his shots. But even more is when he's driving down the lane, he's getting a lot of tough layup attempts to go down, and it's the fact that now when he gets the ball and he dribbles it out, in the past he would look and try to go find somebody to screen and try to see if he could get a pick and pop to not create his own offense. But he's taken a step this year to start creating his own looks, creating his own shots off the dribble. With his frame and his length, man, that is tough to guard. So I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it a lot. And I think he's, big ups on him, buying into the Koyich experience here.
Well, I'll tell you what, with fatigue out, Krop's got to play a high level, man. I'm thinking he's got to average 8 a game. He's got to continue to defend the rim. But if he carries that team, man, and keeps them afloat without fatigue, Krop's in the MVP conversation, midseason MVP for me, no question.
Yep.
This is turned into the Nicholas Krop podcast. We got
we could go on. But I think it's time to tease for the next podcast, because we have one of the biggest event in 3x3 coming up in less than 12 days. I was going to be there, but sadly couldn't get the contract, but I'm watching you too, because we have the World Cup. And goodness gracious, Boz, you have been an expert at this. The rosters have not been quote unquote set, but I'm excited to see some teams, especially my Puerto Ricans back out there. Puerto Rico, Japan, I'm excited. Poland got some real kind of mugshot dudes on there. They all look psychotic, so I don't know what's gonna happen.
This is
yeah, look at the pictures.
Well,
look at the pictures. They all look like Batman villains. Every single one.
You could say that about a lot of Eastern Europeans. I'll be frank here. Anyway, no, but this is the fun part of the World Cup to me. Outside of course, the games. Where the weeks leading up to the World Cup, you see a lot of teams experiment with rosters. There's a lot of question marks on who is going to be selected. Let's take France men, for instance. Toulouse this year has been bad. Horrible, to be honest with you. And Bordeaux has actually played a little bit better so far, might I say. Not winning, but they've been super competitive in a lot of their games. Now, the question becomes, who do you select, right? I think the highest level of talent on any French team I've seen this year was Elancourt, who played in their pro league. they're still stuck in 5-on-5, so I don't think they're going to be able to be selected. So what do you do as Karim Sochou, who is no longer the Toulouse coach? He is only the French national team coach. And now he has kind of freedom to pick out of this entire field of players. And with Toulouse's chemistry and their play this year just being outright bad, like, what do you do? And that speculation to me, the speculation going into that is enjoyable, man. It's a 12-day ride or whatever, however long we got left. A 2-week ride of just teams coming up with new stuff. Canada Women's coming in with a new roster last weekend and trying some things and winning because of it. The Netherlands in the women's side have been the most dominant team over the last year, but they're dealing with injury issues now. Janice Boonstra got a calf injury in Shanghai. They placed 6th because of it because they had to play with 3. They also lost Evelien Lutje-Schiphol to a meniscus tear in the Champions Cup. So their 2 bigs are hurt. What do you do? Right? So the Netherlands are having to adjust. On the men's side for the Dutch, are you going with Maarten Bouknecht, who's been offensively great, but a defensive liability? Is Brian Alberts the way to go? Are you going with 2 bigs and bring Van Tilburg to his first ever World Cup? Di Maio van der Horst is injured, so he's not playing. All these speculations, man, I enjoy all of it.
What about the USA roster? Is Cam Forte going to... Is Cam Forte going to find a spot on that American men's team roster?
Is Kyle Guy able to be selected?
Ooh, just to get a little taste. This could be the taste toward the Olympic squad.
Is Kyle Guy able to be selected?
Wait a minute, they have to because they got to see how he's going to play with this team if he's selected to go to L.A. You know, this is when you
here or the AmeriCup though.
Bro,
you do it. I would do it here.
Imagine Kyle Guy, Cam Forte, James Parrott,
and you
Dylan
keep
Travis.
Dylan Travis.
Or Caruso. Caruso.
I know, but I hate even saying these names because how can you not say Caruso or Mitch Hahn in there too?
Yeah, it's just it's up there.
It's gonna be New Zealand's gonna be in there.
I was gonna talk about them.
The Netherlands. That matchup with Worthy and company is gonna be crazy.
Oh, what's the nickname you have in New Zealand? You had a nickname for them, the 2 bros or something like that.
No, it's 2 Point Nation.
2 Point Nation. 2 Point Nation. Oh my goodness. Yep.
No, I think that's a common name for them, right, boss?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think it's the Tall Blacks or 2 Point Nation now. And they played they played as Christchurch in the Xi'an Challenger. Yeah. Ran into Phoenix in the qualifying draw. Lost a tight game. Lost a narrow one to a Phoenix team that eventually ended up in the finals. But again, there's so many questions going into this World Cup. I enjoy all of them. I think we'll have a preview pod, of course, coming in the days before the event. Yeah. We'll make sure to hit on all the women's and the men's teams. Yep. I'm not sure if we can get it out when rosters are set, but we'll have at least a general overview of what teams will look like. And man, we're gonna get some predictions, and that's for sure.
Yep, man, it's gonna be busy. That's gonna be a week-long extravaganza, by the way. So, Boz, rest those vocal cords up after Hamburg, my friend. And Chang, sorry, man. We wish you could have been there.
We wish you could be there. A Polish beer and pierogi with the 3 of us. But again, end goal being now, we get you to Rio, so we hang out in South America. It's a shorter flight.
I started saving already for Rio. I don't care. I'm going to be in South America. We're going to be in. I'm learning Portuguese. Obrigado. That's all I got right now. But I want to find out some more.
I'll take you. You know what? If I had the choice, Vince, I'd take you in Rio over Warsaw.
So, it's a dangerous combination.
You just want to see me dance. Look at Chang go. Look, see, real quick.
I want to go and have to pick you guys up in some kind of police station, fellas. Be careful. Be careful. That's all I'm saying.
We're gonna end on a high note because again, these 2 are my big brothers, and then sometimes they love their family and stuff, so they usually sit down with the beer and they're just going to just watch that little young buck go. Let me see what he could do. Look what he got right there. And sometimes I feel a hand like this. Whoa, don't go there yet. No, not yet. Not yet.
Vince is the party. No matter where you at, Vince Chang is the party. You go where Vince is and that you in the right spot. All right, well, listen. Another fun one, fellas. Another fun one. I'm gearing up. I'm going to head out to do some work at the EuroLeague Final Four, first time ever.
Good luck.
Calling some highlights, doing some pre and some post game work for that. I'll be busy this week, and then after that, it's World Cup time. So I'm very, very, very much looking forward to it. Had fun on this episode. My Power 5 wins.
We'll post these online and try to see what people think. That's what we'll do.
and look out for our bold prediction for Shanghai. All right.
All right.
Put our feet to the fire.
Day-Ching.
But with that, thank y'all for Day-Ching. Appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure y'all stay locked in. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Give us a follow at Word on the Streets. Replace the E's with 3s. For Boz, Vince, I'm Kyle. Catch you on the next episode of Word on the Streets. Y'all be safe.